Welcome to another live stream tutorial, guys. This is Chris Welton from CweltonDesign. This time we have another advanced Lumion materials tutorial here. And this one's gonna be a little bit quicker, a little bit straight to the point, and we're gonna talk about generating normal maps. And this one's the substance stuff was a little tricky. It was a little bit it's a little bit more in depth, although what I'm going to show you is actually pretty simple. I'm going to go through some of the workflows that I've done while for quite a while now, utilizing normal maps outside of just Lumion's normal map generator. Alright, so on our checklist here, the first thing we're going to talk about in this tutorial is we're just going to overview what normal maps are. You guys are probably familiar with it, but just in case, we're going to go over exactly how we use them and also about normal maps in Lumion. Just double check you guys understand that Lumion can generate these, or when it generates them, and how to kind of manipulate them. And then I have found a program that's completely free online, really straightforward and easy, but not too great, called Normal Map Online. I just wanted to show that off really quick. You guys can create real basic normal maps on there. And then I'm going to cover Xantos's Lumion PBR tool. Xantos was a well-known Lumion user. He's definitely been a part of Lumion since the beginning. And he developed, through Substance, a really awesome tool to create normal maps as well that I would actually recommend. It's also free. And then I'm going to talk about what I used to use. I still do use it, and it's still probably the most straightforward for creating normal maps for me, and it's Crazy Bump. So first off, talk about a normal map. So I'm going to pull up here, make sure that I'm going to search normal map on Google, make sure that nothing weird comes up on images. You never know. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, so obviously when we think of normal map, we see these purple images, and it really is a sort of purple. There's a great example right there. Really kind of demonstrates what exactly a normal map is. And you know, there's probably, you know, if someone's like a hardcore gamer, game developer, they could tear me apart on this definition. I don't want to go way too in depth because it's not something I fully understand. But I see the results, and I know how we use it, and that's the thing too. It's a normal map is actually really powerful in ways that we don't even take advantage that much as in the ArchViz community. But when it comes to high definition 3D models and characters, there's a lot of power there that we don't actually even utilize that much. We just see it as relief, and that's the real basic thing. It's a normal map. Like, let's look at this wheel, or whatever this is, and what this is going to generate is relief. It's going to manipulate the light on the surface to look and shade as if it's bumpy like this, without actually deforming the geometry. And that's important to understand too. Let's take a look at this. This is a great example. So this is kind of some figure of a person. What they've done is, this is an original high definition model of a person here, or a statue, and then this is the same mesh really simplified, and they do something called baking. And I don't want to get too in depth in this, but basically it generates a normal map, and you apply a normal map to this mesh, as in you import this mesh into like Lumion. You could add the normal map and it looks like this, yet it's, you know, 4 million triangles versus 500 triangles. If you think of something like, hey, let's look at this. This is obviously the diamond pattern, diamond plate steel. You could go in SketchUp or 3ds Max, and you could model all those little pieces, and then you have to chamfer them and smooth them, and you'd have a pretty high definition, you know, even those little bumps, you'd have a pretty high definition mesh model. Or you can make a normal map and generate it onto a single rectangle and mimic the look. So that's the same idea, mapping normal maps onto this lower poly mesh to mimic what a higher resolution mesh does. And I didn't mean to go too much into that, but the idea is instead of modeling these bricks, we can add a map to them and generate that in Lumion. So let's go ahead and, oh, I don't have Lumion open. Let's see, let's go ahead and open Lumion here. Apologize for not having it open. I'll keep talking a little bit about normal maps, maybe some other examples. There's kind of the results there. And I'll notice this too, you'll always see them kind of purple, but notice how certain edges are kind of reddish, and another edge here is kind of a green almost, and then this is kind of blue, and then it's a darker purple down here. So you're probably getting at that's telling the computer certain things that doesn't make perfect sense to us, and that's kind of the issue with normal maps, is they have to be pretty much have to be generated by a computer, by software. I'm pretty sure I couldn't just open a blue image in Photoshop and then start making my own normal map. Maybe I can do, I don't know. It's pretty tricky, but software is required to make these things, and so software is what I'm going to show you guys. So we got Lumion pulled up here. Let's just go ahead and open an example scene and show off how Lumion, I think this came out in, I think it was 4.5. I might be wrong, but it was really awesome. It was definitely a requested feature. The people requested the ability to create normal maps instantly from within Lumion without having to use extra software. So let me just bring in something from Substance really quick. Here. We will use this. Some sort of stone material I have. Okay. So, what you might notice is this already has relief. All I did was import this color map here, this diffuse map, and Lumion is set to auto for generating a normal map. And let's pretend we didn't do that. And so this is our flat image. And if we needed to generate a normal map when Lumion didn't automatically do it, we just go to right here, create normal map. And then with our relief slider here, this is where we control the depth. And I'm pretty sure there's an important thing to understand is a normal map can be flipped two ways. So I'm pretty sure when I'm looking at this stone here, the creases looks like they're heading towards us, as in they're like raised, and the stone is recessed, which is not what we want here. So there's a flip button here. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. You can see it here. You know, sometimes the relief you get isn't really visible. Sometimes I like to up the reflectivity just so I can make sure I understand what sort of definitions coming in. Different lighting will show off, and then of course let me show off where normal maps really make a lot of sense. Either the sun shading or just a light. Let's get a light going right across here. Let's make it darker. Yeah, it's really shiny still. Anyways, let's go to, it was called, just type in normal map online. And this isn't even that great of an example, but it's quick and simple and free. So I'm gonna grab a material here. Let's say this too many things generating. Let's try this honeycomb. That'll be interesting. Now we'll do this one. We already have a normal map here, but I'm just gonna show you. You load it into here, and well, on this one, just uncheck displace. We're not worried about that. And load for this 3D one. You got to reload it. Nope, right here. Nope, this one. Okay. Alright, so right here in this little interactive 3D cube here, we have control over a normal map here. You can see it generating right there. And I'll tell you what, if you see green in a normal map, it's too strong. I've never seen a green normal map with like noticeable green on it that wasn't like super overpowered. So I've noticed that with this one, it's kind of cheap. I mean, it's free, but it's something you can quickly preview for a normal map if you need something really fast. And you guess you have a little bit more control than Lumion, a little bit. And then you can use this, and you download it. You can even load different objects in here. And I'm going to show you other options that are way better than this. But I'll put a link to that online on the video. So if you guys want to play around with this one, I just want to include it because it's just online. You don't need a powerful computer or anything. You can just load it on there and create them quickly. You know, if Lumion didn't have its own generator, this would be the first thing I'd recommend, I guess, because a lot of the other ones are paid. But we're going to work with, alright, so the next one we're going to work with is, an awesome tool created by Xanto, and we can find it by going online to bizantos.com. And this guy, I don't quite understand. He's done a lot with Lumion, and he was really involved, especially in the older versions. He's since been doing a lot of stuff with Unreal, but he answered a lot of questions of mine when I first started. We're gonna go to shop here. Don't worry, this is free. So Xantos, of course, I'll have a link to this as well. And what we're looking for is this awesome Lumion PBR tool. This released with Lumion 5, I believe. 5 is when Lumion switched to PBR. And he generated, I'm not sure how he did it. He must have gone into, I think he knows some sort of software development stuff, and he was able to utilize Substance, which, remember Substance Player from before? So this requires Substance Player to work, and it's set up like you're gonna buy it. You go to add to cart, you just put in your email. It's free, trust me, it's free, guys. And you go to checkout, and he'll send you an email, and we'll download it. And I already have it downloaded here. And the cool thing is it looks just like, because it is built off of Substance Player. This is what you download, and so yeah, it looks just like Substance Player. And let's try this same stone material here. So you put your image here. You could probably I could have probably dragged and dropped it in there. And I've forgotten about this. And now that I've utilized Substance Player so much more, I actually really like this. So now there it is in there. And under these tabs, we could adjust diffuse, glossiness, specular in here, but right now we're going to worry about relief. So there's a strength right here, and it's generating. Let's take a look at it right here. So it's generating a normal map here, and then we have a couple more advanced controls in the relief advanced. You can go through fine details. Oh yeah, and it works like Substance as well, so we really want to up the resolution. Depending on what your source one is, it's still defaulted to 512. If you had a 2000 by 2000 texture, input it still defaults back to 512. So I'm going to set this back up to say 2000. So there's just different, maybe 1000 to make sure it goes fast. So different parts of the material. Every material is going to be different. Can be controlled in here, and it's pretty nice. It does the job. Use a pinch intensity, which I think would work on this. And if it's backwards, there's an inverted right here. Like right here, pretty sure right here we're looking at, let's go back to something higher. I'm pretty sure this is flipped. It's kind of like an optical illusion. Really, the normal map is basically an optical illusion. But that's the way we want it right there. And so when we're done there, after we tweak all these controls, it's the same thing. We go to export and just do Lumion normal. And it's pretty much just like Substance Player here. And let's see what this actually looks like in Lumion. I should have done that in the other one, but I'm gonna hit. You know what? To make it consistent too, I don't know what my original diffuse was. I'm gonna do diffuse and normal so they go together. There is actually glossiness control in here. It doesn't look, I don't know. I'd have to play around with it. It's definitely an option. It's a quick way of kind of faking glossiness, but maybe we'll delve into that later. So we've done this. Go back into Lumion here, and now you guys are actually going to see my screen. And let's load. So I'll go to, oops, right here. Here's our diffuse. Oh, that's weird. There we go. The texture was set up that way. Here we go. And then now our normal. Lumion made its own normal. And this will just replace it. And that's really powerful. That's definitely way too powerful up here. Up the reflectivity kind of help, just to help see it. And then I'll bump it back down. So it's okay. Definitely not the best way of doing it, but if we wanted definition in our stone wall, then you can get it through there. So there's a generated with some more controls normal map from Xanto's PBR tool. And now I'm going to show off what I used to use, and I probably still do. I've really honestly been getting most of my materials from Substance lately. And this one's called Crazy Bump. Like I said, I really don't use this anymore. I bought this quite a while ago. You'll see it says educational use only. I really don't use it anymore since Substance. But you just go from a photograph. I don't want to have time to find this. Okay, so let's do something new. We'll do this brick. No, I'll do the same stone. I'll show you so you can compare them. Where'd that stone go? Okay, there we go. So what's gonna do? Yeah, it's funny. It's meant for game developers. And so there you go. It's saying which shape do you want to read. This is basically invert or not invert, and it's really not reading it super well. I think I can see the stone is popping up here. You can always invert it afterwards. This one's just really cool. Just like Substance, I guess it has a preview, but I just feel like this one's the most. For me, this one was the easiest to get into. I tried the Xanto's tool, the PBR tool, before when it first came out. I tried a couple other ones, and this one has been my favorite just because it's so simple. So there's intensity right here. That's actually, if you go into negative, that flips it. So we're going to go up. And you can see the normal map being generated here. And then there's sharpen. Oops, I apologize. You have a little if you right click, you have a little light here, and you can control seeing the diffuse on there or not. If your lights or white, or if they're like kind of red and blue, or sorry, orange and blue. And you can remove noise, make them smoother. I think it's higher resolution image, so it takes a second on here. And just like Xanto's tool, this one has different sliders for different levels of the detail you want to work with. I feel like this one just does a little easier of a job noticing how it's changed. A little bit more control. Maybe that's just me. This is what I've always used. And that's kind of conforming more to the shape of the stone instead of just the roughness on the surface, which is, the other one was really good at that. So there's a shape recognition here too. I'm not exactly sure what that one did. I just feel like this one can recognize stones better. We want to have, say like that, and you just go to save normals. And we'll put it in here. I think this is actually where I get my naming thing, right? What I showed you guys, I do normal gloss, like NRM and Geo gloss. That's kind of, I think this software is where I got that from. But all right, so let's try that in here, and I definitely am pleased with the results with this. Normally, you can see a difference here. There's too much. See, there's too much noise in this one. You could just tell it right here, and too much green. There's some green in there. This one's nice and purple. So, yeah, that's a lot better in a lot of ways to me. It didn't quite capture the roughness of the surface. Like, sorry, I shouldn't say roughness. I should say the you know, the graininess of the surface. It didn't quite capture that. I think I probably could capture it more if I wanted, but it really captured the form of the blocks better. And so that's what I had to show you guys. So normal crazy bump is, I believe it's not free. It's like, I think it was 50 for education when I got it. I think 100. It's pretty old, and honestly, it technically doesn't. Here, let's pull it up. It technically doesn't conform to PBR, but it still works just fine for Lumion. You get a free trial too. I think 30 days. There it is. Buy a license. Just want to make sure I'm not misquoting. Oh, it's so no, 300 for professional, $100 for personal. So I got it as a student, and like I said, I use Substance now, so I wanted to give you guys all my options. There is another one. There's Substance has its own bitmap to material, and it basically works very similar to this one's paid with Substance. It comes when you get a Substance subscription, and it works just like the Xanto's tool, the Lumion PBR tool, with just a little bit more control. Actually, it looks very similar. There's some more advanced things like making things tile and stuff that we did not have. I think there's just a little bit, some grunge maps you can add. So there's more control in that, but for normal maps, it's basically the same. So I want to make sure I cover that. All right. So yeah, that was pretty quick. I just want to share that with you guys for normal maps. Hopefully you guys understand them a little bit better. And I'm going to end the tutorial here, but you can stay on for a little bit if you're watching live. I can ask a couple questions, answer a couple questions. And thanks for watching, guys. I have more coming.